Yo, freedom marchers, freedom family, freedom lovers, and freedom fighters. How are y'all doing this afternoon, evening, wherever you're at in the world? Terrence Bain, Snaps of the Gorilla, definition. Hollering at y'all with this quick live stream. Just wanted to get my 2 cents out about this. Queen Sister Cameron, how you doing? Much love to you. Peace and blessings. Give y'all a minute to likely hop in there. I'm mad late with this live stream, y'all. I tell y'all what, man, Monday through Friday or Monday through Thursday, I be wanting to be on time. You know, I set the schedule. And yeah. Sometimes I ain't, you know, sometimes I'm a day late, sometimes I'm an hour late, sometimes 3 hours late. But here I am. Here I am. I definitely need to get this out because boxing is in shambles, y'all. Boxing is in shambles, and what they call the YouTube boxing community is doing insidious work, y'all. It's very insidious. But there is an element, right? There is an element of boxing reporting that needs to be addressed. All right? That there is something going on in boxing that is pretty unprecedented and is really affecting the sport in a negative way. Very negative way. Because what we got going on is a lot of homo-eroticism amongst a lot of fans and a number of, you know, boxing YouTube journalists. And the more it's coming out more and more, it's showing itself more and more, and it cannot be ignored any longer. It cannot be ignored. And you know, if you guys aren't familiar with Sister Cameron, y'all go check her channel out. Excellent channel. You know, she touches on a lot of mental health issues and whatnot, and she is a qualified mental health professional. There's a lot of homoeroticism going on in the sport of boxing, not even just on the journalism side, right? It's like bleeding into boxers, I think, a little bit, right? And particularly well, maybe two, you know, two boxers in particular seem a little suspect, right? Seem a little sassy. And look, there's nothing wrong, right? I won't say that. Listen, what you do in your own home is your business. It's none of my business. So if you like to get plugged, if you like to have your sphincter plugged, you know, that, hey, do so to your heart's content. The problem is when it bleeds into boxing itself and we can't get the fights we want. Cameron says, blessed, she just did a video the other day about the fans of men. Oh, I got to check that out. Of course, I didn't get a notification, just so you know. I got to go in there and make sure that the notifications are turned on. By the way, y'all got to do that. Y'all got to make sure that the channels y'all watch, that your notifications are turned on. I did not get a notification that Sister Cameron did a video, which is unfortunate. You know, so once I'm done with this and I can actually settle, I will share it. You know, I'll watch it and share it. But y'all go check her out. Anyway, listen, like I said, what you guys do in your own home behind closed doors is your business, right? And I know we're in an age where people have to be all out in the open and flamboyant about liking the menses, okay? You know, you men that like menses, y'all got to be all out in the open. Y'all got to flaunt your shit around and all this, that, and the third, and do all this, you know, these little hand movements and hey girl type shit. It is what it is, right? But you never really see that in boxing, right? You never really see that in boxing. Well, before recently, you never really see it, right? You know, I've been into boxing since the 80s, right? Since I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? I've been watching boxing for all those years. And I've never seen, like, coverage of boxers in the way that they covered Gervonta Tonka Truck Davis. Him in particular. Not just him, though. Also, Ryan Garcia, right? They do this with Ryan Garcia and Tonka Truck Davis most blatantly. Now, I'm going to go back in time to when I first saw the weird coverage of boxers, okay? Just weird, uncanny, like, why the fuck does this matter coverage? It started with, for me, well, I started seeing it with South Sucker TV. He goes by Southpaw. He used to go by Southpaw 773 or some shit. But now it's Southpaw TV. Now, I won't say it's necessarily that he was necessarily homo-erotically covering Gervonta Tonka Truck Davis, but he started to ring in the more personal, catty, gossipy type shit. You know, he would talk about Gervonta Tonka Truck Davis's leg tattoos and his hair, in regards to how he would basically say that, oh, if Devin got his haircut, or if Devin got a tattoo, or if Devin wore jewelry, or if Devin did this, or Devin got gold teeth in his mouth, he would basically say he's trying to be like Tank. It wasn't really like homoerotic, right? But that's when I really started to see all this shit about Tonka Truck's hair, Tonka Truck's leg tattoos, and all this, that, and the third. And South Sucker TV is really just, he's just a weirdo. He's a weirdo. He is a crazy nutbag who threatens children and, you know, all that silly shit. Beats up women in the street. Beats up people that don't know how to fight and call them Devin Haney fans on the street. Or he'll pick out some random person at a gym and spar with them, and, you know, they don't know this guy from Adam. They probably don't know shit about boxing, but he'll pick these guys out and kind of beat them up, beat on them, you know, or whatever the case may be. So that's when I really started seeing this weird ass coverage. South Sucker TV was talking about Devin Haney and Asia Love, or whatever her name, India Love, right? Just really just going in on Devin dating India Love. Like, he was really the only one, you know? And it didn't really pick up like that, right? It didn't really start picking up until later on, when Boxing No-Go, or as you know him, Boxing Ego, really started getting in on Devin, right? And I talked about why he don't fuck with the Haneys no more, right? Because he was trying to get an interview with Bill. Bill didn't hear him. And ever since then, he had, you know, his animosity, and he ain't got over that shit yet. But that's just the type of person Boxing Ego is. And during quite a period of time, like a year or two, you start to see more and more fans a lot more interested in the way Tank Davis looks. His braids, his leg tattoos, what he's wearing, Iron Heart, whatever the fuck you call it. That shit, you know, Iron Heart, whatever the fuck. Bronze Heart, whatever the fuck it is. That type of shit. Just so completely interested in what this dude is wearing and all this shit. Making memes about it and talking about it, right? Boxing Boxing No Go went ham, went in, and really invested in covering Tonka Truck Davis's, hairstyles and all that type of shit. He would literally post on his Instagram, pictures of Tonka Truck's head with his hair braided, and just like, I just don't understand it. What does this have to do with boxing? What does Tonka Truck's hair have to do with boxing, right? Why is it so important for you guys to make Devin be a copycat of Tank? Every time Devin Haney does something, oh, he's copying Tonka Truck and all this silly shit. When one of Devin Haney's guards, I guess, or one of his bodyguards, or whoever was rolling with Devin, when he got arrested for that firearm, which wasn't even Devin's, everybody was talking about how Devin was trying to be like Tank, trying to be street and all that shit like Tank. It's really starting to become obsessive, right? Now, Boxing Ego, or Boxing No Go, posted a love letter. I guess I don't have Twitter, and I'm not active on Instagram. I don't know if it was on Twitter, Instagram. It really doesn't matter. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. He posted a letter, basically. This is the crescendo, right? This shit has reached a crescendo of homo-erotic fantasies come to life. Like, real life homoerotic fantasism has crescendoed with Boxing Ego. Now, I want y'all, everybody's focused on the leg tattoo and the hair statement in that bullet point presentation, right? It was a bunch of bullet points. But here is what really made me go, what the fuck? It's really at the top, near the top of what he was talking about. When he said something about these boys and those boys. That right there. When he said, oh yeah, these boys can't be like Tank, these boys want to be like Tank, I'm like, say word? These boys? That's how that's how we doing that? That's how we do. I mean, of course, a lot of other things in that also lent itself to homoeroticism. But that really got me like, well, yo, this nigga really said these boys. Those boys want to be like Tank. And when I heard people reading it, it just sounded so fucking weird, right? Now, Boxing No Go got clowned. But here's the thing. A lot of people think the same way about Tonka Truck Davis. A lot of people think that way about Ryan Garcia. You know, you heard Oscar De La Hoya talk about how, or wait, no, that was actually Bernard Hopkins, who, you know, just was calling Ryan Garcia a sex symbol and this and that and the third. It's like, how does that help him in the ring? Like, how does that help us want to go see a fight, right? You know, Ryan Garcia posing in underwear for wherever the fuck. It's just getting weird. The sport of boxing is getting weird. And a lot of homoeroticism is about. And this is bad for the sport of boxing. Why is that? Well, because there are so many casuals, right? There are so many casual fans that want to, they go into such hardcore protection mode for guys like Ryan Garcia and Tank and Tonka Truck Davis that it really does prevent the sport of boxing from progressing, right? Because everybody wants to attract these casual fans because it translates to money. It really does. The Elemental P community, right? The Elemental P community likes to spend money. They like to spend money on the individuals they are attracted to, right? It's just that's how it works, right? I had a chick I was messing with. Okay, she was a bartender, and she bartended at a gay bar, right? A gay bar. Men, women, whatever, fuck, gay bar. And she wanted me to bartend with her at this bar. She said I would get hundreds of dollars a day if I went and bartended at this bar with her. I said, you lost your goddamn mind. I am not bartending at a gay bar. You feel me? This is not happening. I don't give a fuck how much money they trying to give me. But she said the tips will be ridiculous. Now, she was a baddie, all right? This chick right here, she was like 6 foot tall, my height, right? A little shorter. Beautiful, had a nice body, just banging, right? And she got a lot of tips too. She got a lot of tips from, the lesbians, right? But she was trying to get me to come to this goddamn bar and bartend with her so I can make me some money. And I was like, no, it ain't happening, right? But she was just talking about, because she knows the community, right? She had friends in the community. And she was just basically telling me that they tend, for whatever reason, to have a lot of money, and they like to spend it. They like to spend money. Dead Mike's probably in here trolling, of course. Trump out here doing more in a few days. Oh, that's what's up. You was doing a T-Pain like the bartender. No, I didn't do it. I refused. And at that point in time in my life, I could have used the extra money. You know what I'm saying? I had not started my career in electrical yet. And I got out of the Army, and I was trying to get into a lot of shit. I was doing personal training. I was doing weapons training and for civilians, and I was doing a lot of different things. Tow truck driving, whatever. And I could have used the extra money, but I said, hell no, I'll go bartend at a regular ass bar, and I'll let some chicks tip me. But chicks don't really tip like that at bars. So, but like I said, I don't need dudes hitting on me all goddamn day. I just don't need that. I would not be able to stand it. Cameron says you chose your respect. Exactly. I don't care how many. And she was getting bread. Like, at that point in my life, I was a dog, right? Y'all know about that period. I told y'all, especially Sister Cameron, you were in here for a little bit of that. I was a dog, and I was trying to find me chicks that had more money than me, which wasn't hard because I didn't have a lot. I didn't have a lot of money. All I had was what I was getting from my military, from the military disability thing, whatever. And that's all I was really getting at that point. And unemployment. I was on unemployment, in between jobs, just doing little things here and there. Getting in trouble with unemployment because I was working and collecting unemployment. So they was trying to, all that silly shit I was trying to get over. I was being an outlaw, of course. And I could have used the extra money, but I wasn't gonna do that. I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. And she was like, well, this is how you stop them from hitting on you. You wear a wedding ring on a like a chain, and that lets them know that you're taken, and you ain't with the program. I was like, sounds good, but I ain't gonna be able to do it. They might get the fuck out of here with that shit, man. There's more women at gay bars. I wouldn't know. How you know? I wouldn't know. I've never been to a gay bar, so I couldn't tell you. I've seen it in movies and TV shows. It just looks nasty. It looks like it smells like when I see it in the movies and in the TV shows, it looks like a gay bar smells like a fishery mixed with a water treatment plant, a wastewater treatment plant. That's what it looks like, smells like. Because now this might be stereotyping. Like I said, I've never been to an actual gay bar, but every time they show gay bars and shows and movies, them motherfuckers is half naked with their ass out, and they're dancing, right, with leather on. So they're wearing leather, they're dancing with their asses out, and they got shit on there. It's just weird, and they like, it just looks like it might smell really badly in there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Fishery and Franks. Fishery and Funk, exactly. That's what it looked like, it smelled like. Because I the first time I saw a gay bar depicted on a TV show was The Sopranos. When Vito was in the closet and everybody was finding out. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, man, y'all don't know what y'all messing with The Sopranos. The Sopranos are shit. Anyway, I was like, is that what they really do in gay bars, man? Nonetheless, moving on. I was not about to work at a gay bar for no money, because I did not want to get attacked in an alley. I didn't want to get jumped by a bunch of nasty dudes and all this other shit and have my innocence taken. So no, I would rather do what I was doing, which was mooch off of women. Man. Man, oh man. Sorry about that, y'all. Had to handle a phone call. Anyway. So, I don't even know where I left. Why are they cutting down all these damn trees, man? Oh my God, this shit pisses me off. Anyway. So, the love letter from Boxing No Go. What really like got me tripping out was him talking about these boys, this boy is that. That sound like some language from the Elemental P community, personally, in my mind. And we know, Boxing No Go, he's from the Bay Area. There is a lot of that going on in the Bay. Now, you also have to look at, he has this little videos that he does called Ego Weight Watchers. Ego Weight Watcher, where basically he will talk about a boxer's body and all that type of shit. It's just, I know he's trying to be, I don't know if he's trying to be different or what it is, but there's nothing wrong with talking about a fighter trying to make weight. But to make a whole video about it and then talk about their abs and all that, look how ripped up they are, look at their chest, all this silly shit. When I was still rocking with Boxing No Go, I was like, that's a little weird, you know what I mean? And, he called it Ego Weight Watchers, but then he would be like, he would call it EW, right? Ego Weight Watchers, AKA EW. And I'm like, bro, that's just wild as fuck. Then what happened was I got a phone call, all right? I had to handle a phone call. But it's just weird, man. The type of coverage that we're getting, right? You had the reporter say, and you pretty and shit. It just makes it, yeah, it is sick. And it just makes it invites more distraction to the sport of boxing. Just real talk. It invites more distraction because what happens is these guys, they're not just fan of boxers, right? You hear the term they're not a fan of the sport, or they're not a fan of boxing, they're a fan of boxers. They're not just fan of boxers, right? It's almost they have crushes on these boxers. It's like they have a crush. Like they're so attracted to them that they don't care what they do. They don't care if they fight. They don't care if they challenge themselves. They don't care about any of that. All they care about is protecting their favorite sexy boxer. I mean, that's really what That's what I see when I see the landscape of boxing today. When you want certain fighters to fight and challenge themselves and fight other elite fighters, you get pushback from these type of people, right? They'll say things like, why they got to do this? Oh, he's too small. Or they don't want them to challenge themselves. They don't want it. They don't want them to lose their They don't want them. I mean, all they want to see is dazzling this and dazzling that. But really what they want to see, they want to see their favorite fighter not be sad and upset by a loss. They don't want to be saddened and upset by their favorite fighter losing. And this encourages certain boxers not to challenge themselves. And it's really bad for the sport, because a lot of these dudes, Cameron says all facts in clinical terms is called hero worship. Yes, it's hero worship. Exactly. And listen, there's nothing wrong with looking up to someone like a hero. But it's another thing to make what they do about what you want, right? Which is them. You want them. You want them to be perfect. You want them, because they look perfect in your eyes. They look so great and majestic in your eyes. You don't want anything to mess that up. You know what I'm saying? You don't want nothing getting in the way of that. And that's a problem, because boxing is not about being perfect, right? Now, you can blame Floyd Mayweather for some of that, because he was big on protecting his O, and being 50-0, it was such a big deal for him. But that's not just it, right? Now, the fighters, they feel like, well, you don't give a fuck about them unless they're undefeated. And if they get defeated, you're going to walk off, you're going to run off. And it's all about the money now, too, right? There was a time when fans didn't give a shit about pay-per-view sales and all this, that, and the third. And all of a sudden, that just became so important. It got used as a tool or as a defensive weapon for their favorite fighters when you want them to challenge themselves. Oh, well, did this guy do these pay-per-views? This guy's not a pay-per-view fighter. Oh, he ain't got no sales and all this, that, and the third. When, like, for Tonka Truck Davis, and this is why I say Tonka Truck Davis ushered in the era of homoeroticism in the sport of boxing, is because they've never really done that for any other boxer than him, right? All the hypocrisy, all the contradictions, all the cognitive dissonance surrounds Tonka Truck Davis, and mostly surrounds him. But see, what is happening is bleeding into other fighters, right? Because these fighters, they want to have those casual fans, they want to have those homoerotic fans be attached to them as well and help them make money. Now, it just so happens, it's not like, oh, I want homosexual fans. No, they don't understand what's going on with these fans, right? They're trying to cater to these fans, right, in order to have a big payday. That's really what it's about. Now you got, it's happening more and more, right? You got the protection squad for Ryan Garcia, who's a drug cheat. And that's the same squad that has these feelings for Gervonta Tonka Truck Davis. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just what it looks like to me. It looks like that. It's the same people. They use the same talking points from the same YouTubers, right? And it's very dangerous to the sport of boxing, of course. Not dangerous in someone's life, but it's dangerous to the sport of boxing. And that's why all these boxing networks are no longer boxing networks. That's why Showtime stopped covering boxing. That's why ESPN Plus has stopped covering boxing. Now all you really have is the Zone, right? All you have is the Zone. And the PBC might not even have, from what I hear and understand, from what I'm hearing, the PBC might not even be rocking with Amazon soon. They're going to have to go over to the Zone as well. And this is because these fighters don't want to fight nobody and they don't want to challenge themselves because they want the same type of fans Gervonta Tonka Truck Davis ushered in. Now, I'm not going to say he is the reason. No, it's the people that cover. It's the people that cover the sport of boxing. It's these YouTubers. It's not even just the YouTubers, right? Even old media, right? So much focus on silly shit. So much focus on the money. So much focus on the clothes. So much focus on the hair. They understand society today. They understand society today. So at the expense of great fights being put on, you have those who cover boxing catering to the fans that are not going to pay. They're not really paying for these fights anyway, necessarily. Right? They're not paying for these fights. See, everybody thinks Gervonta Tonka Truck Davis is the money man, but the only reason he broke 1 million pay-per-view buys is because he fought Ryan Garcia. You got two fighters that have huge homoerotic fan bases on one fight. Two fighters with huge homoerotic fan bases in one fight. And I would even probably go as far as to say that Ryan Garcia also helped usher in the homoerotic fan base. You know what I'm saying? It's and you can also contribute it to the softness of the modern man, right? The modern man, the millennial and later, they are softer and softer and softer and more effeminate and more given over to homoeroticism, right? They look at me trying to talk like I'm Cameron, like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. But I'm just telling you what I'm observing. Cameron says two fighters with fans who are obsessed with them as men. Exactly. And so Gervonta is not, you know, it doesn't really translate to money like that necessarily, right? It doesn't really translate to money because most of the people that that go to all these legit boxing channels to talk shit, right, and defend Tonka Truck and all this other stuff, they are going to most likely pirate the fights, right? Look at his last fight with Frank Martin. Man, that shit didn't even do $400,000 probably, $400,000 buy probably. That's you know, way less than half of what he made, what was supposedly made, what was reported he made against Ryan Garcia. It's crazy. Catering to these fan bases on behalf of Tonka Truck is not helping Tonka Truck. You get what I'm saying? Queen Mother Shaquila, how you doing? It helps the YouTuber that that kowtows and caters to it, because a view does not cost a casual fan anything. A view, a like, and then they might, you know, buy the occasional super chat every now and then, but it adds up to AdSense. It costs these people nothing, right? So when you shit on guys like Devin Haney, right? This is very important to understand. Rolly is smarter than a lot of people think. Rolly Romero. I remember when Rolly Romero openly ducked Devin Haney a few years ago, right? There was talks about the possibility of Devin versus Rolly. Rolly said, I'm not going to fight Devin because he's too ugly. He's ugly. He don't know how to talk right. And all. He was talking shit about Devin's looks as to why he wasn't going to fight Devin. Now, this was really before the influx of the homoerotic fan. This was before that. But, you know, Rolly understands his generation, right? He understands his generation. He wasn't saying that Devin's too ugly for women fans. No, he's talking about the homoerotic fans that he probably saw coming from a mile away. But the problem is, like I said, if they aren't really into boxing like that, you know, and they don't really want to support the fighter. These guys don't really want to support the fighter. They just want to look at him. They want to look at their hair. They want to look at how small Tank is and how effeminate he can be, right? Oh, yeah, I know. Tank knock motherfuckers out. Yeah, right. I get it. Yeah, Tank might be a little sus, a little zasty, you know what I'm saying, a little zasty, but he knocks motherfuckers out. But that doesn't take away from the fact that he acts, you know, it doesn't take away from the fact that he can probably touch his finger with his wrist, his fist or his wrist with his finger, right, on the same hand. It doesn't take away from that. Yeah, he knocks motherfuckers out, but he on some weird type of time, right? And these fans eat it up. And they'll go to his Instagram when he posts these things, and they'll go to his Twitter. They'll flood his Twitter. They'll flood Boxing No Go's Twitter. They'll flood Taco Hat's Twitter, and all these guys that cover Tonka Truck's hair, that covers Tonka Truck's leg tattoos, and those same guys that say Devin is trying to be like Tank because he got a haircut, or Devin's trying to be like Tank because he wore black socks, or Devin trying to be like Tank because he got a silver tooth, or whatever the fuck. No, it helps those guys. It doesn't translate to goddamn pay-per-view sales necessarily. It doesn't. No, it does not. Because they don't really give a fuck about boxing like that. But they had the rare gift, right? Salute, Intelligent Savage. Was good, brother. They had the rare gift of seeing Ryan Garcia and Tonka Truck Davis fight each other, and it probably would help flood the pay-per-views. And not only that, but Ryan Garcia does have a huge social media following, right? That helps a lot, right? I mean, it's not going to help him when he's fighting without Tonka Truck and without Devin. He's not going to sell any. He's not going to do any pay-per-views. But it'll help with guys like that are sensationalized for whatever reason, whether it's negative or positive. But if Tank keeps going down the road he's going, these homoerotic fans are not going to save him. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to pay his rent or his mortgage. They're not going to pay his IRS bill. They're not going to do that. Unless he starts a YouTube channel and starts dancing in his kitchen half naked and slapping his booty. That might actually help more. Tank should start in OnlyFans. I know, every time I talk about Tonka Truck, I have career ideas for him. Last time, it was him joining the circus and fighting animals. I know. But now, he should join OnlyFans, you know, and fight animals on OnlyFans, but half naked. That's probably going to get him, that's probably going to help, that's probably going to be a more illustrious career than the career path he's going down right now in the sport of boxing. Because who is he going to fight after Lamont Roach? Who's next? Who's next? Who's going to fight next? Is he going to fight Ryan? Is he going to fight Shakur? Is he going to fight Keyshawn Davis? Is he going to fight Loma? Is he going to unify? Is he going to defend his belt? He could have defended his belt in March, on March 1st. Instead, I mean, he could have defended his belt against a ranked fighter in his division on March 1st, but instead he decided to pull up Lamont Roach and do that. And you know, I mean, yes, Lamont Roach has a WBA belt. He can challenge, you know, the champion in a higher division with that. You know, that would satisfy, you know, the mandatory. That would, right? Yes. But what is the purpose? Right? Why? Is Lamont Roach planning on campaigning at 135? Or is he just trying to get a quick bag? I don't think Lamont Roach is going to get the bag he think he's going to get. And I don't even know if he is getting any back end percentage or whatever. No one is even talking about this fight. Also, right? No one is really talking about this. And if all these guys and all these fans that went so hard for Tonka Truck Davis were really there because they enjoy him as a boxer, then there would be more coverage of the Lamont Roach fight. Instead, we're talking about his hair, we're talking about his tattoos, we're talking about his assistant who basically put him on blast about his sexuality. You wouldn't have that going on. No, we would be talking about the boxing, right? Like they try to do that with Devin. They try to stay on his personal life to insult him, to disparage him, to make him look bad. But it doesn't last long because it gets called out for the bullshit that it is. No, more people are talking about Devin fighting Ryan, Devin fighting Jose Ramirez. More people are talking about a tournament at 147 pounds that doesn't even begin until May. It doesn't even start until May. More people are talking about that tournament because Devin Haney is involved than they're talking about Tank fighting Lamont Roach in like a little over a month. A little over a month. In 9 weeks or less, Tonka Truck Davis is fighting Lamont Roach on a PBC card with goddamn Rayo Valenzuela and Gary Antoine Russell. But no one cares really. Like, yeah, the people will touch on it a little bit, but it's not. Where is all the promotion? Where is the promotion? Where are the homoerotic fans that we hung our hat on? Where are the homoerotic fans that we hung our hat on to continue to fight lackluster fights, non-elite fighters, and not challenge ourselves? Where are they at? Why don't they care about this fight? This is why I say it's bad for the sport. Now, there are certain things that can happen. Tank can retire, like he said, and Ryan Garcia, right, can maybe get so washed in a fight, in an upcoming fight, that maybe he wants to quit. I don't know. You get rid of Tonka Truck Davis out of the sport of boxing, which I'm in favor of because I don't see him trying to challenge himself any further. I don't see it. You know, he tried to make Shakur Stevenson look like he was a bum. Oh, what has he done in the sport of boxing? Like, get the fuck out of here, man. If he goes away, it can get back on track. And I have some faith in Turkey Al-Sheikh to help get it back on the right track. But what I have a problem with is Turkey Al-Sheikh allowing Ryan Garcia to be rewarded and to make all this money that he's going to be making during this tournament. I don't know why Turkey Al-Sheikh is allowing. I don't know why he's allowing Golden Boy to dictate so much of what happens. I get it. You know, Jose Ramirez and Ryan Garcia are both Golden Boy fighters. But I don't understand it, right? I don't understand it. I was on 78 Sports TV the other day on this panel, and I said it then. I said, I don't understand the logic. I don't get it, right? Because there are other fighters you can put in that tournament that would do a lot better. You don't need Ryan Garcia to make any money. Ryan Garcia has not proven that he is a draw. He has not done that. despite being, despite making that so-called 1.2 million pay-per-view buys with Tank, he has not shown that he himself is a draw. I know Devin wants to rematch him, and I don't understand why Devin wants to, but I do understand it because he wants to prove that he can beat Ryan if Ryan is not on PEDs. I get it. I just don't agree with it, right? I don't agree with it. I don't agree with putting yourself at risk again with this dude, especially with all the games he's playing with the VADA testing, right? Oh, I'm not going to do VADA. Well, I'm going to use somebody else and all this shit. He's already doing the antics, right? Now, I heard that he's enrolled in VADA right now, but I don't know. I don't know if it's that 24-hour, 24/7, 365 testing. I know he's doing that for the Rolly fight. But, and then they gave him till April. They gave him to April to sign up. I don't understand that, right? Why are we giving this dude the benefit of the doubt? Why are we even signing these contracts with this dude? And he hasn't done anything with VADA yet. Like, for me, I would want Ryan Garcia to be in random drug testing for 6 months before even entertaining anything with him, if I were Turkey Al-Sheikh. And even then, me personally, I wouldn't do it. Like, fuck that. No, Devin, I get it. You want to fight Ryan Garcia, but there are other. Let's make other fights happen. There are other exciting fights that we can make for you. I know you want to see if you can do it. I know you want to prove that you're better, but think about what Ryan Garcia did, y'all. Shaquilla says exactly. He's only enrolled for the May fight. Exactly. Devin wants him to be enrolled 24/7, 365. If Ryan Garcia was clean still, not still, but if Ryan Garcia was clean, why play these games? Because he said he was getting ready for the Devin Haney rematch months ago. And Bill told him, all right, enroll in VADA. Enroll in Olympic style testing with VADA. 24/7, 365 random. And Ryan told him to pound sand. That tells me he's not interested in being a clean fighter. The dude said that, what if there was a steroid league? It's just the wildest shit. But because he's pretty and shit, he gets away with this. He gets to skate. They want to use the homo-erotic fans to bring money to this card. It's not going to work like that. That's not how this works. If the homo-erotic fandom translated to dollars, then Ryan Garcia would have been a pay-per-view fighter against Oscar Duarte. It would not have been fighting on what was that, a Thursday or some shit? When did he fight Oscar Duarte? What day was that? I don't even think it was a Saturday. And it was in Texas. And the gate was horrible. Where was his homoerotic fans then? Where were these people? Yeah, they got a lot of money or whatever, and they might like to spend it, but only in things they're interested in. Right now, if Ryan Garcia was going to go to a party and be a stripper for the Elemental P community, that's a different story, right? I don't know, man. I don't get it. And the fact that these YouTubers and all that, they are entertaining it. They are catering to them. They are building their platforms around it. Intelligence Savage says, I would like Devin to get his back in the ring. I don't want Ryan cashing any checks off no one in boxing ever again. You would like Devin to get it back in the ring? Yeah, I would like that as well. But that would mean Ryan Garcia is going to get some money from it. He's going to get money out of it. He is not going to allow himself to get beat up by Devin without getting some money, right? And that's my problem. My problem is I'm not concerned about a clean Ryan Garcia beating Devin Haney. I'm not concerned about that. My concern is Ryan Garcia is going to get rewarded for fighting Devin Haney after he cheated him. That's my concern. Now, I wish there was a way that the court system, right, since we want to use the court system should make them fight again, but Ryan would not get any money and Devin would get all the money. That would make sense to me. Devin fight Ryan Garcia and Devin gets 100% of the purse. And, okay, we'll cover Ryan Garcia's expenses. Cover Ryan Garcia's expenses. Cover his training camp. Cover his, no, fuck that. No, he got that. He got $40-50 million. He'll be all right. No, fuck all that. Maybe cover his flight, per diem. Give him some per diem. But, I mean, no. I don't agree with this. But that's what Devin wants to do. I can only respect the man for wanting to show how great he is. I can only respect it. I just don't agree with it. And, it is what it is. I don't agree with it, but I respect his decision. And it's his decision at the end of the day. He was the one who got victimized by Ryan Garcia. So since that is the case, I can't be mad at how he gets it back, right? How he gets recompensed for the damage that was caused to him. I cannot be mad at it. I cannot. I would not shit on him. I would not do any of that. Like I said, I can only respect it. So there you have that. But the homoerotic fan base is a fleeting one, y'all. So those that are trying to cash in on it right now, oh yeah, get it in right now. Get it in right now, because as soon as Tank falls, as soon as Tank leaves, as soon as these YouTubers cannot cover the silly shit any longer, it's going to go back to normal. Hopefully it'll go back to normal and we can get back to boxing as we should. I rather enjoy watching certain YouTubers cover boxing because they do all the research. They do all the hours and hours and hours of rewatching a fight so that they can be efficient at what they do, so that I don't have to do it. I just want to enjoy the boxing and listen to the brothers cook and the sisters cook. The Queens of Boxing Talk, BFTB, Champ Side, 7-8, Drew Titan. I used to enjoy watching Boxing Ego cover boxing, and Fanon, but because of personal issues and all that, like allowing their personal gripes with Bill Haney, allowing that to derail their coverage is just wild, right? So I used to be able to just sit back, okay, watch this guy's recap, watch that guy's recap, get some history, get some context, so I don't have to do the shit myself. These guys put in a lot of work. They put in hours and hours of time into research and to studying, to, looking at film so that they know what the hell they talking about. but it gets derailed by the nonsense because they have to defend and rebut the bullshit, which I understand 100%. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I want to get back to kicking back and watching the fights that I want to watch, and then listening to these guys cook about how the fight went, about what led up to the fight, history. I want to sit back and enjoy it, man. But I can't. I mean, I enjoy these brothers and sisters blowing these motherfuckers out the water and making them look like food. I enjoy that as well. But man, can we listen, man? It's hard work. It's hard work for them. You know what I mean? So I'm making my little contributions where I can here and there, because I don't have time to do all the research they're doing. I don't have time to do it. Hell, even KO is, even though I don't like him, he is very knowledgeable in the sport of boxing. And even his coverage gets derailed by his own, right? His own bias, right? His own bias, and catering also to this fan base. I'm not saying he's homoerotic. I'm saying he is also catering to the homoerotic fan base. Y'all think I'm being hyperbolic when I say homoerotic fan base? Y'all think I'm being hyperbolic? No, I'm not being hyperbolic. This is real shit, right? Just look at the comments. Look at the comments. Look at the people. Particularly particularly BFTB, right? The people that come to talk shit because they are Tonka truck fans. They do weird shit, like they try to go on this panel butt naked and whacking off, and it's homoerotic. Y'all think I'm being hyperbolic? This is real shit. This is real shit. Y'all don't underestimate the number of homoerotic fans in these fan bases. Do not underestimate it. I'm trying to tell y'all. Look at what happened with Devin Haney. When he got knocked down 3 times by Ryan Garcia and got back up each time, they'll try to tell you he got knocked down 5 times. Whatever. They're full of shit. They like to show Devin in a compromising, effeminate position in memes. They get a kick out of it. I'm trying to tell y'all, these people are homoerotic. Do not underestimate the level of homoeroticism in these fans. Excuse me. And it's pretty obvious, right? It's pretty obvious in the things they say, the things they do, right? It just is what it is. The comments, all that shit. Do not underestimate it. Do not underestimate it. So, and then of course you also just have haters, right? You have haters that hate certain fighters, you know what I mean? But they're not mutually exclusive from the homoerotic fans. They can be homoerotic and haters. But then you just have haters that ride with the homoerotics and they don't know. They just, are going along with the hate train. It really is like a domino effect, a snowball effect, right? It is. It really is. And that's what we got going on in the sport of boxing right now. You don't see this shit in the UFC. At least I haven't seen it. The BKFC, I like to watch bare knuckle boxing every now and then. I like to watch it. It's way different than regular boxing. I'm gonna tell you all that right now. If you're not familiar with BKFC, that shit right there is raw as fuck. This definitely ain't happening in Muay Thai. This shit does not happen in Muay Thai. You're not getting any of this. American Muay Thai, Thailand Muay Thai, Dutch Muay, no, you're not getting any of that type of shit. And that's why I can't wait to start covering Muay Thai. I really can't wait to start doing that. But anyway, y'all, I think I have belabored the point. I think I've made my point clear and got it across. Now, I'm not saying that Tonka Truck Davis himself is homoerotic or homosexual. He might be. There's shit out there that shows that points to that, because the dude that turned on him, I guess his friend or slash assistant that he started beefing with, called him one, and he never denied it. And he said, "Oh, why don't you talk about the shit that you did?" I mean, that shit's kind of weird, right? The world of boxing is crazy, right? Now, Tonka Truck Davis is not the first controversial boxer, right? You have plenty of controversies in the sport of boxing, right? But nothing on this level. And we did not have social media back then like we do now. So it just, you don't really get you never really got to see what the fans really thought. The fans that stayed home, the fans that just watched every now and then because there was supposed to be a big fight. You never got to see what they thought or said about a boxer. You had old media covering boxing. That was it, right? That's it. You had Larry Merchant. You had all kind of people. You had whoever you had that covered the sport of boxing. That boxing journalists. They never did no shit like this. Like we shit on old media, right? Right? New media likes to shit on old media. But old media didn't do shit like this. They didn't cover boxing like a Boxing Ego or a South Sucker TV or a Punch Drunk. They never covered boxing like that. They just never did. So you don't see this type of shit back then. You just didn't. You know what I'm saying? So, and there was no money in it for them. They were already getting paid by the networks. They were getting paid a salary by the networks. Their money was coming no matter what. As long as the fight sold a lot of money, and they got good ratings and commercials played or whatever, they got their money. So they never had to tap dance and all this other shit for casuals, man. No, the real boxing fans paid for the fights, right? They bought tickets or they watched the fight on TV, before pay-per-view, and it translated into ratings and the ad sales and all that other shit, advertisement. Advertisers would pay to show their commercials, all that type of shit. So there was no need for any of this. But now, because the YouTube space covers boxing, and they cover it. They just dominate the YouTube boxing, whatever fuck journalistic space. They are dominating. They are getting more views and AdSense than old media boxing channels, and that's another reason these networks are pulling out. Right? They're pulling out because their after-fight coverage and their pre-fight coverage, they don't get the eyes that these YouTubers get. And these YouTubers, they're really squandering their power they have in the sport of boxing. They really are. Because they're too busy trying to cater to a fan base that's not going to buy tickets. They're not going to buy pay-per-views. No, they're just going to get you paid. And at the end of the day, boxing suffers. Boxing suffers because instead of covering it like you should be, you're covering it. And look, there's nothing wrong with being unique in the way you cover boxing. Be unique, be funny, have antics, clown around, do skits, maybe take up boxing your goddamn self and demonstrate. Never mind, I'm not gonna say that. No, I'm gonna keep that for myself. Because when I start my new channel, I'm definitely gonna be doing different shit than other boxing YouTube channels. When I cover movie time boxing, I'm doing it a little bit different. But nonetheless, there are ways to be entertaining while covering boxing without selling yourself out. You don't have to sell yourself out. If you have the charisma and you're funny and you have a personality, you know what I'm saying, and people gravitate towards you and you're just naturally magnetic, right? You are going to be okay. It's gonna be okay. I mean, look at Blue Blood Sports TV, Champ Side. They got hundreds of thousands of subscribers, right? I think Champ Side has over 100,000. Blue Blood has like 400,000 or 500,000. You know what I'm saying? They got there before all this bullshit in the YouTube space, when they just used to cover boxing in a regular way. They didn't have to do all this extracurricular bullshit. They didn't have to do it. I mean, they built slowly, right? They built slowly but surely and steadily, and they got real supporters, real fans that stick with them, that they don't go nowhere, right? And that shows that you can do it. It can be done. You don't have to be with all the bullshit, right? You don't have to be with all the bullshit, because the real ones, and you know, it's funny. It's like there are these different YouTubers. It's like they're trying to compete for subscribers or something. When no, everybody can have the same subscribers, and all these subscribers will go to you for your own unique presentation, your own unique way, and they'll go to another YouTuber for their own unique thing in their own unique way, right? There's enough subscribers for everybody in the sport of boxing. You don't have to shit on other boxing YouTube channels and all that other shit to big your channel up. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to any of that, right? And I know that I know I'll be getting on some YouTubers myself, but I'm not trying to get paid off this shit. You understand? I'm not on this channel. This channel, I have fun. I have fun speaking with the people, giving my point of view, giving information. You know what I'm saying? Not just in boxing. You know, politics, being freedom-minded, doing, you know, giving advice, talking about health, you know, all that type of shit. You know, and if I see somebody on some bullshit, I'll call them out, right? But it's not with the intent of making them lose subscribers. No, it's just to give my point of view on their bullshit. Y'all, if you go back through my channel, you'll see it. And it's okay. But people can subscribe to multiple channels. You know, and if you have a unique way, you're going to get subscribers. It's going to happen. It's much more easier to go viral these days, right? All you got to do is get the right clip, put a good spin on it, a positive spin, not twisting up shit to make it look like you want it to look. No, when I say spin, I mean like make it look entertaining, right? You don't have to do all the shit that Boxing Ego's doing. I mean, that dude done, I mean, it's out of control. It's out of control. And the reason it's so important is because the boxing YouTube space is very dominant, like I said earlier, right? And so that shapes the sport of boxing, if you guys didn't understand that. Why do you think Bill Haney goes around? Bill Haney understands it. That's why he goes to all these different channels to give them his time. He understands what it is. He understands that YouTube is the dominating force in boxing coverage. Period. Hell, even like, not even just boxing, y'all, like movie reviews, music reviews, right? Look at all the motherfuckers that made all that money during the Kendrick Lamar Drake beef. The reaction channels, man, they cleaned up. No one was going to MTV for that Drake beef, for that Kendrick Lamar beef. They wasn't going to BET. No, they were going to YouTube. They were going to channels that covered the I don't know how many channels. I went to, including Champ Sides when he was covering it. I went to all kind of YouTube channels I've never seen before in my fucking life to see what they had to say about the Kendrick Drake beef. YouTube. And Kendrick Lamar understood its importance because he allowed these reaction channels to play his music without hitting them with a copyright strike. A whole album worth, damn near, of music. And they made a shitload of money. Now, Drake didn't do it because he's a silly motherfucker, but Kendrick Lamar understood how important that was. How important. I mean, it's grassroots, man. YouTube coverage of anything is grassroots because these content creators, right? They build their shit from the ground up. They build it from the ground up. They put in all this work. They do all this research. They learn how to edit. They learn how to edit on their own. Like these people, they don't go to school for this shit. They didn't go to school. They learning how to edit. They're learning how to make memes. They're learning how to, do animations and play music and all that shit. Like they are really putting on by themselves. But guess what? No album, no song, no fight gets any traction without going through YouTube first. Yeah. Now, when you get in the NFL and basketball, those are institutions that are not going to need to be relying on YouTube. Not anytime soon. They can survive without YouTube coverage. That's why people that cover that, they don't really, they can't just cover boxing or football. But they can just cover boxing and be okay, right? Because guys that are really into football and basketball, yeah, they might go to some YouTube channels, but no, they're going to go to Sports Center, they're going to go to ESPN, they're going to listen to, retired basketball and football players talk about the sport. That's a whole different thing right there. Those are institutions that are not going to be greatly affected by YouTube. But boxing, man, the gravity of that, the gravity of the level of power, the level of reach that you can have covering the sport of boxing, especially now, is fucking amazing. But don't not doing it like me, driving in a truck and talking. No, that's not how you do it, right? You gotta really put in the work. You really got to do the editing. You got to do the music. You got to make the thumbnail look nice and all that other shit. I'm not doing any of that. So I don't plan on. I'm not trying to blow up off of anything I cover on this channel. I'm just not. As a matter of fact, in regards to that, I got more views covering Donald Trump. I get more views covering Donald Trump and goddamn Kamala Harris than Tonka Davis. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not a good example, right? I don't get a lot of views covering Tonka Truck, and I don't do it for views. I do it because, if I can reach a few people here and there, I'm okay with that. But anyway, I also understand that if I really wanted to put the effort in and put the time in, which is really what my biggest constraint right now is time. Time, because I drive 4 hours to and from Georgia every goddamn week for a total of 8 hours. That's a lot of time. 8 hours? I can get a lot done in 8 hours. A lot. I can get a lot done in 8 hours, man. But it is what it is. When I do start branching off into the other channels that I plan on starting, You know, like I said, I want to cover I want to do a lot of covering of Muay Thai, particularly in America. Definitely going to cover some Thailand Muay Thai because I want to try to help introduce more people to it. A lot of the Muay Thai channels I see, they are like Muay Thai gyms or they're Muay Thai trainers, and they're more focused on like showing Muay Thai moves and all that type of shit. And then there are some channels that cover Muay Thai fights, you know, that focus on that. But I don't see people like where are the interviews of the Muay Thai professional Muay Thai fighters in America? Where's that at? Like, where are we? Why? Muay Thai is one of the most exciting combat sports. It's one of the most exciting combat sports. Why isn't Muay Thai is great, man? Especially if you like boxing, you'll like Muay Thai. You really would. Because you're basically boxing with elbows and knees and clinches. Elbows, knees, and clinches, and throws and sweeps. Man. Mix all that shit together. Very exciting. Very exciting shit. But anyway, I'm going to get off of this thing, man. Enough of the soapbox. But I'm going to holler at y'all later. Thank y'all for coming through. I appreciate the likes. Appreciate the subscription or whatever you did. Even I appreciate the downvote. I appreciate the comments from Intelligent Savage, Queen Mother Shaquila, Queen Sister Cameron. Y'all go check her out, y'all. Y'all go check out Cameron. Who else? Dead Mike came up in here. So I appreciate you guys for coming through, man, and listening to me ramble on about, you know, boxing shit. You know, I appreciate it. Anyway, I will get at y'all again tomorrow and Saturday for some good old talk of whatever might come up. I definitely want to talk about some shit that Trump is doing. Definitely got to talk about some of that shit. So that's going to be interesting. We'll see what's going on with that. And with that, I'm about to get off of this and go watch Sister Cameron's video. And yeah, I'm going to holler at y'all later. Much love. Like, share, subscribe. And we're going to keep marching forward toward freedom and truth. Peace.